there was the one thought of, okay, it's a growing program. Like, what is it going to be? Like, kind of like the unknown. You don't know what to expect. But also I was really excited just to be a part of creating that for people to come.
Samantha Pearson, welcome to the OneDog podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, you are field hockey here at Wingate, and you are going into your sophomore year.
Yes.
You're not from here.
No, I'm not.
So where are you from, and kind of how did you get to Wingate?
I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa, and I had no idea about Wingate. Really, I've never been to America in my life before, so I didn't really have an idea about anywhere here. So I kind of went through an agency in South Africa who promotes this and will promote you as a player. And they kind of put me out into the portal, and Wingate reached out to me along with a whole bunch of other colleges. And I think Wingate just really sparked my attention. Like, I was more interested in it because, one, it's a beautiful campus. Two, the community that they advertise is incredible. And like, that's something, as a South African coming all the way to America, is something I was really looking for. Being so far away from home, having people that I can like be with, rely on, and be accepted by other people. Also with them having a lot of international students, it just gave me a lot more comfort in leaving everything I know and coming here for the first time and just starting from the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like, they advertise like the community and the, getting to know people and all that kind of stuff. And I still don't think it does it justice. Like when you show up on campus and truly people will make sure that you're taken care of and in the right direction. Like that's something special that you don't get everywhere.
Definitely. And I think especially being part of a team has made that experience just that much better for me, because I came in and it wasn't like that awkward kind of interaction where I had to say, hi, I'm Sam. Like, it was like a team. It's like, we're going to be a team. Like, and everyone was just so accommodating. And like from the get-go, like they had no idea who I was, but they were all so friendly and welcomed me into their family.
Well, and that's the beauty of being on a team. It's like, hey, you're part of us no matter what. Like you're going to have to be here. So getting over here, you've never been to America.
No.
Like, how did you kind of adapt, and like, what was that like first trip over and first time you stepped on campus?
So I was fortunate enough to make the trip with my mom, my dad, and my brother.
Oh, that's nice.
So we kind of came to America 3 weeks before classes started, and I had to be here for field hockey, just to kind of adjust to not Wingate, just the time, the food, like what America was essentially. Right. And then when I got onto campus, I was more comfortable. I was like, okay, I'm ready to like do the next step. And I must say, adjusting was easier than I thought, but it still wasn't easy.
What was the biggest adjustment?
It had to have been the food.
Better or worse?
Worse.
Really?
I think South Africa is a lot more healthier and conscious of what we eat. Yep. Whereas here, it's like, you've got all your fast foods. I mean, especially at a college with a cafeteria, it's like you're just eating there. You're not really conscious of like, hey, what, like, you know what I mean? I also think something that was really hard to adapt to was the lifestyle, just of Wingate University itself, because I do think there are bigger universities in America that have completely different lifestyles to this. In South Africa, all we know is 350 people in one room for one class. No questions, no participation. The teacher won't even know your name. It's like you show up, you don't show up. A lot of my friends will go to one class beginning of the year, show up at the end of the year for the second time in their life, and just write the final. Like, they don't pay attention to you. And I think that's something that I kind of was shocked about, but in a good way. Yeah. It's like they really care about you. They care about your education. Like, if they see you slipping at one aspect, they'll help you. And I really do enjoy that. And also just the aspect of having a sport, it's going to keep you on schedule, keep you routine, and you're doing something you love. Whereas in South Africa, there's sport, but it's not orientated around the college. Yeah. And I think that's what makes it so community-based as well. Because in South Africa, it's like you go there, you're friends with the people you were friends with. It's kind of just a huge community, so people don't really make an effort.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had a professor, like one of our professors went to our wedding. Like,
See, that's awesome.
Like they would call me after games and be like, "Hey, great job. Just wanted to let you know we watched." Like, you know, it's just different, you know. When you're getting started over here, before we got on the podcast, you were talking of how field hockey is like big over there in South Africa. And you get here and it's a growing sport. It's becoming more popular, but it's not very known. Like I know like one unique rule about it and I'm like, yeah, I'm smart at field hockey. So how is that adjustment of like going from a popular sport to something where not many people know about it really?
I definitely think that actually adding to what was the biggest adjustment is this, because it being such a big sport where everyone plays it and it's like you feel like involved, included. As I do feel involved, included here, it's like we're a growing sport. We don't have as much accomplishments yet because we've just started our program. So sometimes I feel like we're kind of at the bottom of the pool amongst all the sports and not being looked down on, just like we're getting there.
Yeah.
And people are waiting for us to just like get there.
I mean, you guys are going to win.
Before we move on with the podcast, let's thank one more of our sponsors, Weber Marketing. Yes, that's my company. I am a sponsor of this podcast because I am producing this podcast. My company focuses on video production and also marketing strategy. So if you're looking to do podcasts just like this, monthly video marketing, or even some commercials for your business and you want to grow, look up webermarketing.com.
I think something that really showed me like, wow, like field hockey is just not popular here was when I first arrived on campus and I was walking around with my stick because I'd just been to the field. Someone came up to me and they were like, what do you do with that? And I was like, it's a field hockey stick. And they still looked at me like, what does that mean? And I was like, oh my, like you would never catch anyone asking you those questions in South Africa.
Yeah.
It's like you walk past them and it's not even field hockey, it's hockey. We don't have ice hockey. So it's like if you walk past someone, it's like, oh, she plays hockey. They just assume that. If you don't play hockey, then I don't know what sport you play in South Africa.
That's funny. What's it feel like being a part of like a growing sport? Like you're basically starting the program and setting that foundation for years to come. So did that go into your decision of coming here? And is that something that like you really are excited about?
Yeah, definitely. So there was the one thought of, okay, it's a growing program. Like, what is it going to be? Like, kind of like the unknown. You don't know what to expect. But also I was really excited just to be a part of creating that for people to come. And I think being part of a team, something that's so important that I don't think most teams have, that was the foundation of our coach's idea for growing the team, was culture in our team. And just cultivating that team culture to make it feel like a family, not just being able to say, oh, they're my family. Actually like going there, being able to try new things, not being scared to fail, and creating a comfortable environment where you just try your best but work hard. So the balance between like happiness and like cheering people on, but also when you got to get down to it, you have to do it.
Has there been a adjustment or a transition? I talked to the other athletes that are international and like soccer, especially, there's a different style of play in every part of the world. Is it like that? Like, did you get over here and, the style of play here in America is different than what we do in South Africa?
Most definitely, yes. So in South Africa, which you'll see at Division 1 schools here, they play on a different surface, AstroTurf. It's a lot shorter than the turf we play on.
It's not fun. I played football on it once.
I could imagine that wouldn't be fun. So that surface naturally is a lot quicker, and it gets watered a lot for the pace of it. So in general, it's just so much quicker, the game there. So with it being quicker, you don't have to think as much. It's like go, 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 go. Whereas here, if you want to pass somewhere, for example, you know that ball's not going to be as fast. Someone can get there. It's a lot more technical. And with that, I think it took me the whole of my freshman year to adapt to that. It was quite hard for me. But coming into preseason this year, I'm so excited because I'm like, I know this like turf. I know what to do, and I'm really excited. But I think it's really cool as well. We have a South African, a girl from the Netherlands, and now a girl from Germany on our team. And we all experiencing the same thing with the surface.
Do you feel like now, since you've gone a season through it, you're able to help them kind of adapt quicker?
Yes, and that's what I've been trying to do. I've really like gone to them saying like, don't get frustrated. Like I know it's different, and they know it is as well. Like they saying to me like, oh my goodness, how do you do this? I think it's just about adapting, which I think is a good skill to have. Like coming here, things not going your way, being able to develop skills where you just have to learn to adapt and go on with it, where you have different experience to other people on your team. I think it's very important.
Yeah. So moving opposite here, this is more for my personal enjoyment of, if I'm going to South Africa, what should I go and do, and what should I make sure that I avoid that all the tourists usually do, but you shouldn't do that?
So I definitely say when going to South Africa, go to Cape Town.
Okay.
It's just a lot more beautiful and there's a lot more to do. It's very scenic with everywhere you go. You can be very active, go on hikes, walks on the beach and things like that. And very typical that I'm going to say, but definitely go on a safari.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
As we would say, go to the bush or go on a game drive. I think it's definitely something people should experience. Yeah. And especially because, questions I've been asked here is like, oh, do you ride lions to school? And like these crazy questions that I've heard like people ask, but I'm like, no, they've got to be joking.
No, they're not. They're not.
So I think definitely just going to see the country because it's beautiful. And I know people only hear about the bad of it. Like, oh my goodness, it's so corrupt. As most countries, it's dangerous.
Yeah, there are places poverty. Just like here.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
People really hone in on those bad aspects of South Africa. So I think if people were to go there, like you're saying, and just go see how beautiful it is and just experiencing it would be great.
Yeah, no, it's on our list of things that we'd like to go do. I think it would be a really cool place to go visit. What's your major that you're doing here?
I'm studying strategic communications and minoring in psychology.
Gotcha. What are you going to do with that? What's your plan?
So I kind of want to go into public relations, kind of in a corporate place, kind of manage and organize events, kind of run everything.
And your plan is to go back home, or would you like to stay here? Do you know yet?
So I get asked that a lot. I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of just going with the flow. I'd love to stay here. Mm-hmm. But then it's also everyone I know, my whole family's in South Africa. And I don't know if I'm ready to leave all of that. But I definitely think a life in America is something I want to do, whether it's straight after college or go home, come back. But it's just a question of how I'm going to do that. Because what people ask me that without understanding, it's not easy. Like once my scholarship's up, I'm here for 4 years. I think I have about 1 year here afterwards, and then I have to get out of the country.
Right.
And it's not easy to get in after that.
Yeah, like the visa, green card, all that fun stuff. Yeah. Like it's hard. It's hard. Not like I can stay if I want. Like, no, you have a lot of hoops to get through. Definitely. What was it like getting, because I haven't asked this one, what is it like getting that like college green visa to be able to come over? It's not a green card. I keep saying green card. College visa to come over and play college. Like, what was that process like to make sure you are able to come here and play?
Because I went through an agency, I was very fortunate to have a smooth experience with that. They kind of did all the admin for me, and really all I had to do was show up for my appointment. And I get nervous. Like I always think worst case scenario, and like what if they ask me this question but I answer it wrong? But it's like not me. So I was very nervous when going into my appointment, but it's actually, this is their job. They do it every day, see thousands of people.
Probably thousands of people, not as, at your level too. Yeah. So like you shouldn't have been very nervous.
Exactly. So it's quite simple what I went through, but I know people who go through it by themselves without help, it is a long, dreary process. Appointments, you can't get an appointment for like 3 months. You have to book way in advance. They don't come in time for you to leave. I have a few friends. One friend, she's diving in Vermont. She didn't get her visa in time to go when she needed to go. So in that case, all you can really do is just, you have to just let people know, like, I'm not going to be there. And just wait on the place
it's just a
get
waiting
it to
game.
you. Yeah, basically.
What's a American phrase that you've heard that makes you laugh?
You're good.
You're good?
Yes.
It's just,
because I see it in field hockey. I see it on campus. If you mess up in field hockey, someone will say, you're good, like carry on.
Yeah.
If here, I like bump into someone, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, you're good. And it's just like,
I say it all the time.
I know. I've caught myself starting to say, I'm like, oh my goodness. And it's just weird because like we normally say, oh, don't worry, you're chilled, got you.
What's your South African phrases that everyone looks at you and laughs at?
I think it's more like just terms, like here specifically not calling ketchup, we call it tomato sauce. And
tomato.
Yeah, tomato. And I think, just the syllables that we all say differently.
Yeah.
And jersey, I call it jersey, like a sweater, a hoodie, like that type of stuff. People think I'm referring to the sports outfit. And there's definitely a lot. And that's what I think is so cool. I'm rooming with an American and she loves like all of those terms. And I'll catch it. Like she'll speak to me in my terms. And I just think it's so awesome. It's very cool.
That's great. Well, Samantha, I appreciate you coming on and telling your story. Wish you luck with the season. We hope that field hockey gets to be passing all of the other sports, which if it does that, then we're going to be in really good shape.
I think we definitely will. We're getting there.
Yeah, for sure. But if someone wants to follow along you and your journey here, what's the best place for them to follow you? Is it Instagram?
I definitely say Instagram.
What's your Instagram?
My Instagram username is Sammy Jade, SAM 3 I's 1 J ADE.
Perfect. Awesome.
The rest were taken.
I know. I feel that. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and guys, make sure you follow her, and we will see you guys next time.
Thank you so much for having me.